But the next second, time and space suddenly twisted. He unexpectedly traveled through time to the future 50 years later. Lisa quickly pulled Carl from the mangled aircraft. Behind them, smoke was already billowing from the plane it was about to explode. In that life or death moment, Carl's first instinct was to rush back for his wife's photograph. When he finally took in his surroundings, afterward, Lisa and her son accompanied Carl to the police station to give a statement. Unable to verify Carl's identity, the police planned to detain him as a mental patient. Lisa's son couldn't bear to see Carl wrongly accused. Pretending to be thirsty, he went to buy water but secretly slipped into the hospital room to tell Carl about the police's decision. This clumsy sincerity made the boy lower his guard, and the two became friends. Just then, police officers arrived at the door, ready to take Carl away. He quickly braced himself against the door and frantically told the boy, but Lisa also thought Carl was mentally disturbed and refused. In desperation, the boy pulled out the chocolate bar. This kind of chocolate has been discontinued for over 30 years. Maybe Carl isn't lying. His eyes swept over a display case in the corner. Inside was a photograph of a soldier from the last century, and the man in the photo was unmistakably Carl. He deliberately distracted the officer and secretly slipped the photo into his shirt. He quietly slipped out of his room, but the moment he touched a car on the street, he triggered a shrill alarm. Everything in modern society was foreign to him, and the alarm alerted the officers upstairs. Fortunately, an old-style motorcycle passed by on the street, a type he used to ride in the past. The boy shouted excitedly. Running into him twice can't be a coincidence. This is heaven telling us to help him find his wife. Unable to resist her son, Lisa drove Carl toward his old home from memory. But the streets of yesteryear had long since changed. But in the wedding photo beside it, the groom wasn't him. Carl understood instantly. His wife had remarried, had 3 children with her new husband, and built a happy family. Lisa searched for information about Carl on her phone, and the results made both of them heavy-hearted. The records showed that Carl had died in battle 50 years ago. At that moment, will the disaster stop, and you'll be able to see your wife again. He can't go back. The boy suddenly burst out and shouted to Carl, "If you go back, you'll die in battle." The boy decided to take Carl away. Carl immediately drove into the woods, shaking off their pursuers, but he knew deep down that this era, wouldn't that prevent the tragedy? "I'll take you to get some modern equipment." What they didn't know was that the Investigation Bureau was urgently repairing Carl's crashed plane. The space-time rift wasn't the first to cause disasters. Many historical accidents had originated from such rifts. Only by sending displaced people and objects back to their proper place, but Lisa explained with reddened eyes. If Carl doesn't leave, history will be rewritten, and more people will suffer disasters. After a long silence, Carl looked up and told the chief, "I'm willing to go back, but I want a bulletproof vest and some weapons." But Lisa stopped him. "You must return exactly as you came. You can't take any modern items." Carl nervously entered the house and saw an elderly white-haired woman sitting at the table. He gently approached and greeted her. The old woman looked up at him, her pupils constricting. She thought she was dreaming. Carl slowly recounted his time travel experience, but soon the moment of parting arrived. He reluctantly turned to leave, but the old woman suddenly called out to him and slowly removed the necklace from around her neck. But the chief's urging shattered this brief moment of beauty. Finally, Carl followed the chief to an open field. He crouched down to touch the boy's head. "Thank you, little guy." With that, Carl turned and walked into the cockpit of the repaired plane. Investigation Bureau personnel stared intently at monitoring data on their computers. A dazzling flash of light burst forth, and the rift sealed behind him. Peace returned to heaven and earth, as if this encounter across 50 years had never happened at all.